Hi, my name is Claire Egerter, and today I will be showing you how to utilize the computer program Adobe InDesign in order to create a presentation booklet. Due to the length of this booklet and the lack of time for this instructional video, I will not be showing every single step that I did to create the piece. Instead, I will be focusing on some of the key tools and features of the program and demonstrating them through elements of the booklet. I created this booklet for the new employee lunch that took place at Healthcare Realty on November 15th. This lunch happens every year for the new hires of the company and contains a summary of background information on the organization. To start, I want to provide you with a basic introduction to Adobe InDesign. When you open up a new document in InDesign, there are three main toolbars: the left-hand side, the upper, and the right-hand side. The left-hand side toolbar is the one that contains tools such as the pointer, which will be your go-to tool, the text box tool, the eyedropper, and shapes tools. The upper toolbar contains things such as your fonts, your font size, your text color, paragraph alignment, and when you're on the pointer, your reference guide. Furthermore, the toolbar on your right side contains the main place for organizing your pages. In addition, the InDesign toolbar at the very top of the screen, File, Edit, Layout, etc., contains a few functions that I will be discussing later on in this screencast, such as the place function and where to set margins. As I just mentioned, the pointer is the go-to tool, and we'll start by clicking on the pointer so that we can begin the lesson. We are going to start by fixing our margins. In order to do that, we click on Layout, Margins and Columns, and then make sure that every margin is set to 0.5 inches, which is the company standard, and then we're going to click OK. Next, we need to set up master pages. Master pages is important when creating a booklet or a spread with multiple pages because it allows you to create a template that can be applied to all pages for consistency. For this booklet, our master pages need to have the organization's logo in the footer. We are going to click on Pages and then double-click on A Master Pages. As you can see, we now have two blank pages that will serve as the template for the rest of the spread. Anything that you would want consistent on every page can be put on master pages, for example, images, text boxes, guidelines, etc. For this booklet, we only want the Healthcare Realty logo in the footer. To do this, we are going to set up a text box. We're going to click on the T tool on our left-hand side toolbar, and then we see a pointer on the page. With that pointer, click on your mouse and drag until you have an appropriately sized text box for the amount of text that you need. Then type the desired text. In order to change the font size and color, you highlight the text in the text box, and the font and size options are in the upper left-hand corner of the top toolbar. For this booklet, we want the font to be Gotham, medium, with 7-point text size. For colors, you click on the T box right above the T with the red slash, and for our logo, we are going to use a preset color swatch of the Healthcare Realty blue. In order to create a custom color swatch, you click on the three vertical lines on the top right and click New Color Swatch. Choose the color mode you want, in this case CMYK, and from there fill in the appropriate percentages. For the second half of the logo, the word Realty, we will just use black and make the tint a lower percentage so the color is light gray. In this case, we will use black at 51%. Then we have to click out of the text box by clicking on our pointer tool at the top of the left-hand side toolbar. Now, we want the text box to fit the text, so we click on the box to make it highlighted light blue, and we double-click on the middle square on the right side and the middle square on the bottom line so that it snaps to the text. Then, with our pointer tool, we drag the text box and align it to where we want it placed. In order to place it exactly, it's a good idea to use the reference points at the top left-hand corner. For this booklet, we want the top left corner to have coordinates of x equals 0.5 and y equals 10.5, so you click on the top left corner box on the reference grid, and then type in the coordinates that you want. And as you can see, now we have the logo placed exactly where we want it. Now, as you can see, I've deleted some elements from this booklet so that I can show you how to use Adobe InDesign to put them back in, and we're going to start with the title page. So, for this title page, we're going to add a text box the same way that we did for the footer and the master pages. We're going to click on the T tool on the left-hand side toolbar, click on the page, and drag to build the box. Then, we are going to add the text that we want. Now, for this text, we have to change the font size and color of the text again the same way that we did for the first time. So we're going to highlight the text that we want. This one's going to be Gotham Light 30. And the bottom one is going to be Gotham Medium 10. And then for the color, the first line is going to be the Healthcare Realty Blue. And the bottom line is going to be the lower tint black, so that it looks light gray. Now, for this text box, we want the text to be aligned on the right side of the box. To do this, we highlight the text and click on the Align Right tool on the upper toolbar. Also, we want the spacing between the lines of text to be bigger. To do this, you click anywhere within the bottom line of the text and click on the Space Before button in the top right of the upper toolbar and click on the top arrow until you get to the desired spacing. Additionally, in order to move the text in the text box, click on the pointer tool and click on the box so it highlights blue and use the arrow keys to move it to the desired location. You can also refer back to the reference grid at the top left corner of the screen if you want to put in exact coordinates. So for this one, the top left corner is going to be 0.66 for the X, and the Y is going to be 3.32. And then for this middle box, we're going to have the X be 7.565, and the Y is going to be 4.08. After the title text box, we are going to place an image of the Healthcare Realty logo. To do this, we have to use the Place tool. The Place tool allows us to add images to a page. You click on File, Place, pick the image that you want to place, and then click anywhere on the page. Then, in order to size the image to the desired dimensions while keeping it scaled to size, you hold down the Control-Shift keys on your keyboard and drag the image by one of the corner blue boxes until you get to your desired size. And to move it, you click back on your pointer tool, and you either use your keyboard or the mouse to drag it to the desired location. I'm now going to show you how to create a new page. Since I've already created this booklet, the pages after the cover pages are already there. But in order to add a new page to a spread, you click on Pages, and then click on the middle icon on the bottom row that says Create New Page. As you can see, every new page that is added automatically has the A master page applied, so if you do not want that template, you need to go back and unapply it. We are now going to move on to creating shapes. As you can see, these two pages are a combination of text boxes and placed images, so we are going to focus on the part of the page that contains a shape. In order to create a shape, and in this case we want a circle, you right-click on the rectangle tool on the left-hand side toolbar and click on Ellipse. From there, click anywhere on the page, hold down Shift, and drag until you get your desired size. It is important to hold down Shift while dragging if you want to create a circle because Shift makes sure that the height and width are even. If you simply click and drag, then you will get an ellipse, not a circle. Once you have your desired size, let go of the mouse and click back on your pointer. In order to fill in the circle with color, you click on the outside of the circle so that it highlights, and click on the red slash tool on the upper toolbar and pick your desired color. Also, it is important to note that this circle does not have a stroke. A stroke is an outline of the shape, and the stroke button is below the color button on the upper toolbar. If you want a stroke, you click on that button and choose the desired stroke color. Next to that button, you can change the thickness of the stroke by using the arrow keys next to where it says 1 point, and you can change the design of the stroke underneath the thickness. For this booklet, I do not want a stroke, so I will click on the stroke button and click None. The next tool that I'm going to discuss is guidelines. Guidelines are important in Adobe InDesign because they allow you to create markers on the page to help align your shapes, images, or text boxes on the page. In order to create a horizontal guideline, you click anywhere on the ruler at the top of the page and drag down. If you want the guideline to be the length of the 2 pages in the spread, you do the same thing, but as you are dragging, bring your cursor to the outside of the page so that the guideline doubles in size. If you want a vertical guideline, you do the same thing and click on the left-hand side ruler and drag until you get to your desired placement. For this specific page in the spread, the guidelines are helpful to align the collage of pictures and make sure that everything is spaced evenly. Another useful tool to use is the gap tool. The gap tool measures the space between images or boxes, and it tells you how far apart they are. The gap tool is the 4th button down from the pointer on the left-hand side toolbar, and to use it, you click on it and hover over the gap that you want to measure. As you are hovered over it, if you look to the top left of the screen where the width and height measurements are located, it will tell you the exact measurement of the gap. Since I know the gap between the 2 photos on the right is 0.0694 inches, I know that I need to place my second vertical guideline 0.0694 inches away from the first. To do this, I can click on my guideline and look at the x-coordinate, 13.9236 inches. Then, I can create another guideline, place it anywhere on the page, and in the x-coordinate slot, I can type in 13.9236 plus 0.0694, and it will automatically place it 0.0694 inches away from the first guideline, so the 2 gaps are the same. The next thing to discuss is placing pictures. To place a picture, you use the same place tool as we did with the image of the logo on the title page. File, Place, choose the picture you want, click anywhere on the page, and then hold down Ctrl-Shift on your keyboard and drag to your desired size. However, cropping pictures can be tricky, specifically because you want to make sure that they are scaled appropriately. When working with images, there are 2 boxes to be aware of. The first is when you have your pointer tool and you click on the picture 1 time so that the boundaries of the box are outlined in light blue. The second is the dark brown outline that appears when you double-click on the photo. The first box, the highlighted blue box, is used for the actual size of the picture. You can drag any of the blue boxes in the blue outline to show how big you want the photo to actually be. However, when working with the dark brown box, you must hold down Ctrl and Shift on your keyboard to keep the image scaled. If you need your image to take up a larger portion of the page, you first use the blue outline to drag the sides of the box to the desired size, and then you double-click and hold down Ctrl and Shift to scale the image inside of the box until it fits inside. Additionally, in order to move the image around the box, you must be using the dark brown outline, not the blue outline, because the blue outline will move where the picture is actually located on the page. As you can see, the rest of this booklet has already been completed, and the rest of the elements were made from a combination of the tools and functions that we discussed throughout the video. I hope that this screencast has been helpful and that you have learned about some of the key features and elements of Adobe InDesign.